KTM dropped a bomb on 11 September by launching the 2024 versions of the 250 Duke and the 390 Duke in India. After that, we also got the opportunity to put the new 390 through its paces at Bajaj's Chakan test track. That review is already up on our website and channel. Do not forget to check that out. Interestingly, at the media ride of the 390, we also got to get up close with the new 250 Duke. Although we couldn't ride it, but we got to inspect it closely in the flesh and came back pretty impressed. And that's because it revealed certain things about the motorcycle which the photos and videos don't convey. That's what we are going to tell you about in this video. But before we move ahead, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon to not miss out on any of the two-wheeler updates. The new age design of the 250 Duke is a major departure from the previous iteration, and honestly, I just love that design. But as has always been the case with KTMs, it is too much in your face and it might attract polarizing opinions. We would be glad to know your opinion about the design in the comment section. So the 250 Duke takes clear inspiration from the bigger flagship 1290 Super Duke, so it looks more muscular, sharper and bigger than before. That alien-like front fascia along with those sharp tank extensions which extend up to the front forks now, they have the ability to stand out even in an ocean of other motorcycles of the same class. It's also a very smart design because at the tail section there is very minimal bodywork and the new die-cast aluminium subframe makes up for the tail section. So the new 250 Duke is available in two color options, electronic orange and ceramic white, and we got to see the latter, which looks pretty swanky and bold. Apart from dressing it up with new clothing, KTM has also now equipped the motorcycle with additional features, thereby upping the ante in this department. So first up, it gets a ride-by-wire throttle system, which means the throttle response will feel sharper and crisper, thereby making the motorcycle feel more direct and engaging. Moreover, it also gets a quick shifter now, which makes it the only 250cc motorcycle in India to get this functionality. So now that you will be able to upshift and downshift without using the clutch, it should be even more seamless to ride the 250 Duke harder, which was always the case with the 250 Duke. Another new addition in the motorcycle is a 5-inch LCD display, which finally gets Bluetooth connectivity and it can be connected to a smartphone to access turn-by-turn navigation. We think it was high time for KTM to bring this feature in the bike because even smaller motorcycles are getting navigation system these days. This display is accompanied by an interesting looking switchgear, especially on the left side where you get 4 directional switches to toggle through different options on the display. Other features in the bike include dual channel ABS with Supermoto mode, a full LED lighting system and a USB charging port. We have always believed that the 250 Duke, at least the previous version, has always delivered a great balance of fun and practicality in terms of engine performance. Although it was never as ferocious as the 390 Duke, but it delivered a quicker and faster acceleration as compared to the 200 Duke. Also, it has always been the smoothest operating member of the Duke family with great engine refinement. And guess what? We believe the upcoming version will be even better for multiple reasons. That's because the cylinder head and gearbox have been revised while the airbox is larger. So the overall breathability and the power delivery of the motorcycle should be better than before. It is evident in the performance numbers as they are marginally higher than before. Now, the 250 Duke produces 30.57 bhp and 25 Nm of peak torque, which is up from the previous model's 29.6 bhp and 24 Nm. It comes mated to a 6-speed gearbox along with an assist and slipper clutch. Now, we couldn't start the motorcycle for us or for you to listen to the exhaust note of the 250 Duke, but because we didn't have the access to the keys of the motorcycle. But since this is one of the derivatives of the 390 Duke's engine and the changes in both the motorcycles are nearly similar, so we expect the new 250 Duke to sound almost the same as the 390 Duke, maybe a little muffled. But for your reference, here's what the 390 Duke sounds like. But in the future, when we'll ride the bike, we'll also bring in the actual exhaust note of the 250 Duke. Now, as of now, listen to the 390 Duke's exhaust note.
This is at 4,000 to 5,000 RPM. This is around 7,000 RPM. Now it's on idle.
So the list of updates just doesn't end there. In fact, when it comes to cycle parts, almost everything in the new 250 Duke has been replaced with newer, lighter and more efficient components. And the employment of these lighter components has resulted in weight shedding. The previous one used to tip the scales at 171 kg, whereas the new model weighs somewhere close to 163 kg. Now, how have they achieved all of this? So there's a new redesigned main trellis frame which joins a new die-cast aluminum subframe. Also, the previous swing arm has been replaced with a new banana type swing arm, which KTM says is more durable and sturdier than before. Also, the 5-spoke alloy wheels, the suspension setup, the braking hardware, everything is lighter as compared to its predecessor. So everything should result in a more stable and a sharp handler. Not that the previous Duke wasn't sharp, but as we have experienced with the new 390 Duke, which feels more friendly and more in control around corners. It carves its intended line without really scaring you off. So all of these changes we expect to be there in the 250 Duke. Which is something that I have personally observed in the new RC390 as well, which feels friendlier, more communicative around corners. But how does it feel exactly around corners in terms of stability, agility and nimbleness? All of that we can only tell you after we properly ride the motorcycle. Now coming to the ergonomics, we haven't ridden the motorcycle, so we can't tell you exactly how it feels. But since the overall setup is identical to the 390 Duke, we can tell you that this motorcycle feels roomier than before. You have more space on the seat to move around, and overall the motorcycle feels more accommodating. However, relatively it is still a little cramped motorcycle as compared to, let's say, the Gixxer 250 or the Yamaha FZ25. But we are glad to report that the seat height of the motorcycle has gone down substantially by 22 mm to be specific. The previous motorcycle had a saddle height of 822 mm, whereas this sits at 800 mm, which is pretty substantial, and it should be welcoming for shorter riders who used to shy away from buying these KTMs. It won't be as much of an issue for them now. KTM has truly impressed us by giving so many upgrades to the 250 Duke. But what has truly impressed us is that it hasn't increased the pricing of the motorcycle despite doing so many changes in the bike. So now it costs 2.39 lakh ex-showroom, which is the same as its predecessor. However, when you bring in the Suzuki Gixxer 250 and the Yamaha FZ25's pricing, this seems quite a bit expensive. But the kind of desirability and premium equipment that the 250 Duke brings to the table, it is really difficult to match by other 250cc offerings. Now we will be back with a full-fledged review of the new 250 Duke. Till then, do share this video with your friends and family and whoever you can. This is Anuj signing out for now.